Oh, good evening, all. Hope you're all well. Welcome to round 4 of the CXR US GT3 Championship. Tonight marks the halfway point, round 4, and we are at Road Atlanta. Tonight with me, I have the usual suspects, Phil and Ruben. Good evening, boys.
Good evening. I want to do correct you real quick because we're at Road America.
What did I say?
Road Atlanta.
Oh, bollocks. No, we were there 2 weeks ago. So, no,
we've already
quite
been
right.
there.
Yeah, we've already been there. So good we're going twice. But no, it's Road America, sorry. Great track. So it should be seeing good racing tonight. Well, I'm hoping so.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, it's one of those circuits that it's just over a 2-minute lap. There should be a lot more space for all the drivers because obviously we've been at some of these circuits that have been 1 minute 18, 1 minute 15, that type of time. And I think with the amount of cars that we've actually got on circuit, which I can't see how many it is right now, but it's a lot. There should be a little bit more space for these guys. So 32 drivers I think we have in the session.
Excellent. Should be a good night's racing then. So it's a very quick track as well, flowing track. One of my personal favourites. So quali's just starting, I see. The boys are running out onto the track. So what we got weather-wise, 25 degrees, nothing exciting really. 27 degrees, humidity, cloudy, and a slight wind of 9 kilometres. So just having a quick look while the boys are going out on the lap. Championship standings. Will Chadwick is our new leader on 65 points. And Southgate is currently in second on 63. Peter Smith taking the last podium currently on 53, and then there's a gap to Stephen Bird on 36 and Chris Needham on 32. So it's, dare I say, potentially turning into a 2-horse race at the halfway point.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think there will be some changes. Some people going up and some people going down throughout the rest of the season. I don't think it's going to remain with just these two guys at the front because there are some really fast guys in here. So
yeah,
I'm sure
there is, but as I've always said most weeks, consistency. Those two are still the most consistent.
Well, yeah, I do agree, but I do think that for this season it's more mixed up and it's closer than we had the seasons before, where somebody at the beginning of the season, after say 3 or maybe even halfway, pretty much sealed the deal and only had to be consistent and finishing in, say, the podium position or the top 5 to sort of seal the championship. And I don't think that's the case right now. So I feel like there's still quite some positions to play for different people.
Yeah, it's a little early in the season, but you can see a little opening already occurring. That's all I'm saying. So we'll watch this space. Obviously, it'll be key. Hopefully, nobody drops out because that's when we've seen in other seasons it affects the positions that you can miss just one race and it costs you the title. We've seen that before. Yeah,
true. But that makes it interesting as well. But we'll have to wait and see. The nice thing about this track as well is it's 6.4 kilometers long. So I do think people will enjoy it a little bit more during qualifying since it's a little bit more spread out on track, and it's a little bit wider track as well, so that should suit the people a little bit more during their qualifying session. Currently on provisional pole is Peter Smith with a 204.255, only 0.04 of a second quicker than his practice lap time. But I was watching the chat on Discord after the practice sessions, and it really seems a track that suits all cars in a way. There are some parts of the track that really suits the Audi and a Ferrari, but then on the fast parts of the track, it seems like the Ford is the better car as well as the Mercedes a little bit. So, I mean, yeah. A lot to happen, and there we see contact between Matthew Dambreen and Andreas Hauser, unfortunately. Not really how we want to see it.
It sure isn't. Yeah, there's some flashing of the lights there from Matthew Dambreen, and you're not allowed to do that during qualifying, so I would imagine that race control will be looking at that and probably handing out a penalty. or at least something, because it was also caused a crash as well, which isn't good.
Yeah. Well, we do have clear rules about it all, how to behave during qualifying, what to do and what not to do.
Whilst we're mentioning our beloved colleagues in race control, who have we got tonight? Is it Neil, Aaron, and is Ed in there tonight?
Yeah, Ed is in
yes,
there as
he
well.
is.
We've got all three.
We've got all three, the three wise men, eh?
Yeah. The three race control ears. I think that might work.
So, I bet you guys didn't know this, but this track has got 14 turns, and the funny thing is, where you would have imagined that turn 1 is, of course, turn 1, the right-hander, and turn 2 is the sort of hairpin coming onto that long straight, but actually turn 2 is in between turn 1 and actual turn 3, where, yep.
Yeah, there is
most turn 2s would be between 1 and 3, wouldn't they, really? But...
Jesus Christ. You know exactly what I mean.
I know what you mean. It's like it's a double turn, isn't it?
Well, no, not exactly. You've got a little bit of a short straight.
It's a kink, isn't it?
But it has a slight kink, and apparently they call that a turn. And if you go through carousel, they count that as 2 turns as well.
Do they? Oh, right.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
there you
they
go.
do.
Every day's a school day.
Because I was looking at some information about the track yesterday on Wikipedia, and there I realized that it wasn't. I was thinking about 12 turns when I was going through my mind, but no, apparently there's a little turn in between turn 1 and 3, and then the carousel is counted as 2.
Out of interest, Phil, your overlay, does it tell you how many turns on the track at the start?
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does, actually.
Oh, I was just trying to remember if it did or not, because some overlays do, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's something that you can sort of adjust in the actual software. I know JRT has it. I'm not quite sure about SDK that Phil's using, but I do know that some of the overlays you can even put the corner names in it if you want to, but that may be a little bit too much information on such a tiny map.
Hard enough counting the 12.
Well, I mean, if you have all the corner names in there, it's kind of hard to read, I guess.
We're not all Kent. We haven't got 12 fingers on our hands. So what's occurring then? So at the moment, we have still got Peter Smith on pole with a 204.26. Actually got a few on 204s. We've got Adam Southgate second, William Chadwick third, Mark Fletcher fourth, and Chris Needham fifth. All done 204s. So as ever, it looks quite tight, the top 13, doesn't it? Just over a second, is it? Second and a half? Top 14.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be too much time between all of these guys, especially on a circuit like this. I mean, everyone races at this circuit a lot. It's not like...
It's a good track.
Yeah, it's not like Barber last week where you might go there once a year or something like that. But here is every single iRacing season. You'll struggle to not find Road America on there. I don't know why it's so well chosen. I mean,
no matter
I do,
if it's
because it's
endurance
so good.
race or...
Yeah, exactly.
So just coming up to 10 minutes. No notable changes as yet. On board with Kieran Smart current in the Smartmobile.
So Luke McKean just went to P7. And had a good time in what he just did. So it puts him in P7. And if I'm correct, we've got 32 drivers tonight.
Yeah, I believe we do. Unless there are a few have dropped out of the season due to work commitments and other family reasons and things like that going on. So we don't have the full 40 odd people that we did have originally. There we go. Kieran is into the pits.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, how much we like it to be that drivers are committed to the season, but of course there are some more important things in life than iRacing.
Very true. Mike and Mate just went into P10. 205.4.
So who have we got sandbagging at the moment then? Who hasn't been out? We've got
I'm not
Josh,
sure.
he's pootling around near the back at the moment, so he's obviously sandbagging.
Well, Billy Fletcher is in, but he hasn't put a
Yeah.
lap time in yet.
Another notorious sandbagger.
And Andreas Hauser still needs to put a time in. Dennis Meisner, Dries Kader, Michael Mason. So, and there we go. Billy Fletcher has put a time in.
What's it to P2? 204.5.
There you go. 204.5.
To get some new glasses.
And then Luke goes in the second. Starting to hot up now.
Ooh, that's close. 400ths of a second.
Just on board with Michael Mason. Yet to put in a lap. But this is probably going to be the lap.
Cool. Big call there, Phil. No pressure. Commentators cursing all that.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, you got some love in the chat there, Ruben. You can translate. Something about being a Oh, I better not read that now.
Let's go, Justin. You can do it. That's what he's saying.
I knew that's what it meant.
And Justin currently has P16 with a 205.8, 4 thousandths of a second behind P15.
There's a bit of love for Luke as well. Very quiet in chat tonight, guys. Feel free to make some suitable
Make some
comments
noise.
or question.
Just want to thank Mate Red 75 as well for the follow. I noticed that came up just before we went live. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers for the follow. Yes, indeed.
So we are currently on board with. Is it Adam we're on board with?
Michael Mason.
Oh, is it Michael Mason? I can't tell. Oh,
Completely different team, different car, different livery.
Yes, no, I get. Okay. Oh dear.
Evening, Winey. And good evening, Tom, as well. Cheering on for Falcon.
Yeah, it should be a good race tonight. Looking forward to it.
Something else to mention for all the people that are on our Discord server. Phil has put up a poll as we want to see what people would prefer for a new season, what type of racing, multi-class or single, open wheeler or touring cars, etc. So if you are in our Discord and you haven't seen the poll yet, just head over to our Discord and have a little look and put in what you think would be nice for a new season.
And that's under the polls tab, I assume. All of them. Can we have all 5? No, can't give them. So single class, multi-class. Cool. Okay.
Well,
so you're doing a combination then.
Demo Shavo, I hope we can help you with that fix tonight. Or actually the drivers on track can help you with that fix. Yeah, I do agree, Kieran. it's nice that it's a bigger track, one of the bigger ones that we have this season, I reckon. And it's popular. Yeah, we told that already. I mean, I really love the track. I know Phil does, and Mark said he does as well. So I mean, but we aren't racing, only commentating. Dennis Meisner going a little bit wide into the hairpin. Currently still in 28th position, so Dennis Meisner seems to struggle a little bit with putting a good qualifying lap in.
Interesting on the poll so far then. Just noticed how many people have voted actually. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I did notice that for the
I
most
thought
part.
multiclass would get a bit more love, to be honest, but
Yeah, I was a bit surprised, although I'm not too surprised. I think sometimes multi-class racing, it's okay when you start, and then halfway through, it just everyone starts to split out a little bit. It's not too much of the same class battling, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, well, and what I also think for multi-class is that it would that's better for sort of more for endurance racing than a 45-minute race.
that is
Yes.
endurance, isn't it?
If you call 45 minutes in endurance, then
It's an endurance with you two, I tell you.
uh,
So what have we got on the poll at the moment? So single class GT. What's number 3? 3, ironically. So you didn't put the new LMP 2s, is it?
I'm not too sure. Like, it's just a single championship with just LMP2 is a bit weird.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean the LMP2 is a multi-class car, really.
Oh, okay.
Although iRacing itself is putting a sort of season for purely LMP2s in, isn't it?
It's supposedly, but I've not seen it yet.
No, true. I haven't seen it yet, but there were talks about it.
We haven't done touring cars for a while, have we?
No, we've done one season with the Audi RS3 LMS.
What was the BMW GT4, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make a vote as well. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a shame that there aren't any more cars from the touring car class in our racing.
Give it time. I'm sure it's only a matter of time.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, it would be nice to have one more touring car at least, just so that there's a bit more kind of choice. I mean, they released the touring car, then they released the Porsche GT4 car.
Ooh, ouch!
It was a big smash, wasn't it?
Is that Mark Fletcher, was it?
Yeah, that was Mark Fletcher. I think he'd just given up on his lap.
Adam Southgate, by the way, currently in P3 with a 204.3, so he puts himself in front of Billy Fletcher.
Just coming up to the last 5 minutes of the session.
Indeed, we are.
So, not a lot separating the top 3 at the moment. Less than a tenth.
Well, looking at the top 20, only 1.8 seconds separates them.
Just need him. Does he go any faster as he's about to cross over the line? Well, that was probably his outlap, wasn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it possibly was his outlap.
Not that I'm naming and shaming. Ben Johnson seems to be struggling a little bit. 22nd at the moment.
Well, the same goes for Josh, because he's currently on 31st with a 2:11.1. So
That's
he's...
Josh Thompson, not
That's
Josh
John
Johnson.
Thompson. His brother's 16th.
Yeah, that's... Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong Josh.
Not a name you hear often. You've got 2 in here.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
So, commentator curse time. Who are you thinking for the race?
Oof, it's a bit early. To be calling that.
Got 3.5 minutes to fill. No pun, obviously. I'm going to go Peter Smith just to keep championship tighter.
Yeah, I mean, if Pete gets a decent start, I can't really see Pete losing it from there. It all depends how these next 2-3 minutes pan out for these guys, and maybe Mark Fletcher's on an outlap now. Luke McEwen's on an outlap now as well.
Well, and still, I don't want to rule out a Billy Fletcher for a possible win or at least a podium position.
Yeah, as Kieran says there in chat as well, it'd be nice to see Chris Needham with a podium. He does deserve it. He's actually back on the old sweat cam this week. He's fixed his browser.
Oh, there you go.
And he's in one of the only 2 BMWs.
Yeah, and BMW has a lot of power down these straights as well, so you're going to see... And we could also see the Ford slightly drop off pace after about 6 to 7 laps, I believe.
That's what we've been told, yeah. So that's, yeah. Exactly for that reason, I wouldn't want to rule out Billy Fletcher or William Chadwick as well.
And what's that due to then? Is that a tyre thing or?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's probably the tyres inflating too much.
Coming up to the cheese bridge. Yeah. Excellent.
The old cheese board.
We are real cheese people.
This is a tricky little turn actually to get right, because if you brake a little bit too late, it's all downhill over the brow. You can overshoot the left hand turn.
And you can do just exactly what...
Yeah, exactly what happened there.
Dries Cadet currently struggling down in P29. Although he's another one that sometimes doesn't get his qualifying lap probably correct, but then brings it a little bit back in the race. So keep an eye on him. Matt Acton shoots straight up to P13.
So just coming up to the last 30 odd seconds. Just have a quick look who's out on track at the moment. I think Luke and Adam both on hot laps. I'm not sure they're both going to get over the line before the clock runs out. It's going to be tight.
There's Adam now, just coming around the final 4 corners, maybe 5 actually. It depends on whether they just call that slight little bend in the
lap out.
corner.
Ooh. No, he's not going to do it, so this will have to count. Will it count? It's got a purple sector. 3 greens. He does it. Luke nicks it at the end.
And that's not the first time we've seen that happen during this season or last season, that somebody nicks pole position in their last lap before the checkered flag of the qualifying session.
Thank you for the follow. Live for the race. Dominic Forster crossing the line. Matthew Hodges is not out on track. So, Pete Smith, still on the lap. Can he snatch that pole position back?
Too many oranges, isn't there?
Yeah, I guess that is true. He's probably just going to pull into the pits.
If you had a couple of greens, you might have a chance.
Nope, he's going into the pits indeed.
So, just picking up on a couple of comments there, Kieran's asking, are we going to be having a fun race in the Silverados in the break? No idea at this point in time.
Good luck.
Possibly. Haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
It's only week 4. Plenty of time to worry about that.
Good luck to you as well, Josh Johnson. Oh, we've got a question for you, Phil, from Live for Race.
Already answered it.
There you go.
Yeah, I assume it's not an issue. Just tag it accordingly.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good by me. Right, okay, so we're just waiting for the qualifying results to come in, and then I'll let one of these guys lose their breath as they go through them all.
Well, God, Ruben, I don't want to break the curve.
We will be fine. We will be fine. Waiting and waiting.
It's such a weird. Last week, it almost came up instantly as soon as everyone just crossed the line, and this week
is anyone still out there?
No one's still on the track.
You gotta love the checkered flag, though.
It's got the two marshals talking about the real cheese.
Most enthusiastic man in iRacing, that chap, isn't he?
Right, so I think we're gonna get the results right now, shouldn't we? Well, at least I got a full lap to do it. And there we have it. So, on pole position, we've got Luke McKeon. On P2, it's Peter Smith. P3, Adam Southgate. P4, Billy Fletcher. P5, William Chadwick. P6, Jelle Hoogland. P7, Mark Fletcher. P8, Martin Hobson. P9, Chris Needham. P10, Callum Brandt. P11, Stephen Bird. P12 is Josh Johnson. P13 is Matt Acton. P14 is Kieran Smart. P15 is Mike Emade. P16, Jason Hutchin. P17, Matthew Dambreen. P18, Matthew Hodges. P19, David Fasole. P20, Arnaud Chardonnier. P21, Justin van der Linde. P22, Andreas Hauser. P23, Ben Johnson. P24 is Jason Headington. P25, we've got Jack Fielder Clifford. P26 is Dominic Forster. P27, Miles Owens. P28, Dries Kader. P29, Dennis Meisner. P30, Michael Mason. P31, Jonas Gillis. And last but not least, P32, Josh Thompson.
Everyone's gridding up. So I will bid you farewell until the end of the stream, and I'll go on to production and leave you in the capable hands of Mark and Ruben as we go through the full race. Enjoy, and I'll catch you in a bit.
What's Phil done?
So, Mark, since Phil jumped out now, got anything to say about that?
He'll probably take that in.
So,
Did you guess one in the end then, Ruben, or not, for a winner tonight?
Well, I think I started off with saying that we don't have to, or we can't rule out Billy Fletcher for a possible win, or at least a podium position, because as we said, the Fords are quick around this track, but from what I read in the chat after the practice sessions, it seems to sort of suit all the cars, but then on different parts of the track. So that's going to be very, very interesting for the race itself. So
Might even come down to pit strategy, you don't know.
Exactly. So I know, or we know, that William Chadwick is always really, really good in this pit stop strategy. Peter Smith as well. So Peter Smith currently sitting in P2. But yeah, I mean, it's a 45-minute race. A lot can happen, as we know. So we're just so yeah, everything seems fine. Everybody's still going.
Win Z is obviously rooting for Luke.
And we've got Byron Gaming rooting for Adam,
Oh,
who is currently in P3 and having a great season so far. So let's see what Adam can do tonight.
it's a long old lap, this one. Not even halfway around yet.
Well, no, but I mean, 6.4 kilometers. It's pretty much 2 kilometers longer than what we had in the previous races. All the other tracks were around 4 kilometers in total, I think. So I think it's almost even 2.5 kilometers longer than all the other tracks we've done so far this league. So
Why do they always got like a little slow Mustang there compared to these GT3s?
right.
I haven't got what going on. I assume we can now be heard correctly.
Well, people can't hear us right now. Right. Am I good for you, Mark?
Yeah, fine. I think the lads can hear us. They're saying yes in the chat. They can hear us, you see? So stop slagging everyone off, Ruben.
So we're on the way. Race started. It's green.
Yep. So hopefully they'll be sensible into the first corner.
Well, yeah, I do agree, turn 1, of course, but don't forget about the hairpin.
Yeah.
Actual turn 4. So far, everything seems to go quite right. People are going into a train, and there we have a spin from Jelle Pieter Hoogland. Couldn't really see if there was any contact made or if he spun it out on his own. I don't see any damage on his car, but he's unfortunately the first casualty in turn 3.
David Fasoli is up to 14th already, up from 19th. So he's had a good start and avoided all the issues in front.
And Peter Smith has actually overtaken Luke McKeon and is currently in P1.
Currently on board with Matthew Dambreen, I believe that is, as we're just watching a replay of Peter taking the lead in that tragic looking Ford.
Well, and he held it around the outside of turn 5, which gave him the inside for turn 6. So, nice move. And enough room given by Luke as well. But the pressure is on. I mean, the top 7 is still very, very close to each other. We'll make it the top 6. P7 is a little bit further behind.
So we've got Adam Southgate now putting a little bit of pressure on
Oh,
Luke.
and Billy Fletcher loses it. Billy Fletcher loses it. We can see the car in the background.
In the Audi R8.
Not quite sure what happened there. He's immediately coming into the pit. Maybe he caught the grass on the outside there, because that can be a tricky one. And there he has done so. So he's coming into the pit straight away, using his fast repair. Yeah, that was a hard hit into the wall. Oh, and then Kieran Smart has another spin. And also I think he spun on his own. He was in P11, but is now dropping down a lot of position because he has to wait for other people to come by.
So,
ooh, Adam Southgate, nice move there.
Just done the move on Luke, so Luke is now down to third off pole. And that's already, Peter Smith's getting a little gap already in first.
Well, like we were saying, it seems like the Ford has sort of a drop-off point after about 4 to 5 laps. So let's see what it does after that amount of laps, and if Luke McKeon is able to stay close with Peter and Adam.
Currently watching William Chadwick, who's now trying to get tighter behind Luke. So currently got Ford first and second, and Audi's third and fourth, and then a group of little Ferraris behind them.
It's relatively mixed up.
So Peter's extending that gap again. He's up to 1.4 now. We're only 2 laps in, so it's like you said, Ruben, see if we can keep the pace over laps.
Exactly. Because it seems like the Ford is the only one really struggling with keeping that pace, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the case, or if they've been over pushing the car a little bit more in practice. Of course, it all comes down to consistency and controlling.
Ooh.
Oh.
Just watching. Ow, ow.
Oh. Yeah, that's not the way you want to do it.
I was just about to say, I was just doing some quick counts in my head. Depending on how thirsty these cars are on the big straights, I'm guessing the pit window will be around lap 11 or 12. But we shall see.
In the meantime, it seems like Mark Fletcher is slowly putting a little bit more pressure on on William Chadwick. Going through the kink. An amazing turn if you get that right, but it could go so easily wrong if you don't. And something to worth mention, we've got our first car out of this race, if I'm correct, and that's Billy Fletcher.
Oh no, what's he done?
Well, of course he had that big crash while I'm watching another between Matt Acton. But maybe he suffered too much from the damage. Oh, Dries there went off as well.
So is the fast repair limited in what it actually repairs? Ooh.
Well, it should repair quite a lot, but not quite sure what the case was for Billy.
David Fasoli there didn't have anywhere to go at all, did he?
No, that's really unfortunate.
He was doing great there as well. He climbed loads of places up from the start.
So we're currently on board with Matthew Hodges. He's close behind Jason Hudson. My bad, it's Mikey Made in the Audi R8. But in my defense, Matthew Hodges isn't that far behind in the Ferrari P13 for Solar Sim Racing.
Oh, we might have a little look down here. Doesn't seem to have enough speed against that Ferrari, does he?
No, but that was what people were talking about. That the sort of overspeed from the Ford and the Ferrari seems to suit. But
yeah, it looked like he got a much better exit out that last corner in the Audi, and then the Ferrari just pulled away.
well, there we see a replay of.
Oh
well,
God! He just missed him.
On this battle, fierce battle, really nice to see. Mikey Made and Jason Hudson, and Mikey Made makes the move done in turn 3, but they will be coming onto that long straight. So the question is, will Jason have the toe to try and grab the position back?
Ooh, what's going on behind him?
Sort of seems like a 2 versus 2, doesn't it? Oh, Matthew Hodge is going for the move there, it seems.
Gone wide at the back there.
No, and he backs out of it. So he stays behind Jason.
But Peter's building his lead up. He's doing about half a second a lap so far. He's just over 2 seconds ahead of second place, who's Adam Southgate. And Luke trying to keep on the back of Adam. 7 tenths behind currently.
Nice little static cam views right there. So we're currently watching Dominic Förster, who is behind Jason Hennington, and he's got the Audi of Josh Johnson, also relatively close, all for P15. Coming on to the main straight, Dominic trying to get the best out of that toe, but I think he'll be a little bit too far behind to try and make that move at turn 1. So what he's probably thinking about is trying to maximize the run out of turn 3 and to use that straight and toe to make the move into the hairpin.
He's caught him up now, right behind him.
Oh, and he's already going for it in turn 3. Had a great turn 1, an exit of turn 1, and Josh Johnson immediately trying to follow through as well.
Martin Hodgson looks like he's just gone off track.
And looking at it, I think Jason Hennington, well, the BMW seems relatively fast though. But he is backing out, so there you go. Jason Hennington just lost 2 positions. Back in P16, Dominic Förster P14 and Josh Johnson P15. Nicely held on the outside there by Josh. There we're looking at Matthew Hodges, who's got another Ford behind him, one of the fewer Fords, driven by Matthew Dambreen. And they are P12, P13, but they aren't that far away from Mike Imade and Jason Hudson. Oh, and there's one of the VSR cars crashed hard, Ferrari.
think that's Callum Brandt and Chris Needham as well, I think.
Oh, and then there you have it. Catching a little bit of the grass on the outside, and
if you nail it, it's very. Oh, that's quite unlucky. That's the corner you say. If you catch it nicely, you get a lot of speed out of it, but you only need to clap the back wheel on the grass or on the edge of the curb. You go.
And Chris Needham unfortunately got caught up in it as well, and he's currently into the pit and probably towed back because that was a hard hit. A lot going on at the moment. That was Josh Johnson who was off track.
Yeah. With no bonnet on his car.
Still on P15 though, because of what happened in front of them with Callum Brandt and Chris Needham. And we're on board with Justin van der Linde, if I'm correct, who is behind Jason Headington, currently in P14. Justin started in P21, so he's having a good race so far. Talking about having a good race, Jason Headington started in P24, currently in 13th. Dominic Forster started in P26 and is currently in P11. So those are the people that made up most positions. Although, talking about Matthew Hodges, started P18, currently in P9, so in the top 10. Having a good race so far. And we're 7 laps into this race, and I'm not quite sure, but it seems to me that Luke McKeon is slowly catching up with Adam Southgate.
Yeah, the gap's quite constant. It's been around 0.7 for a while. Adam's actually closed the gap by about a second to Peter at the moment, so keep an eye on that. It looks like we've got 2 retirees at the moment. So Billy Fletcher, as you called earlier, I think he's been joined by Ben Johnson. Just trying to remember, is it 20 positions, isn't it, for points?
Yeah. P1 to P20 score points.
So 2/3 of the field currently in the money, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, we're looking from the back of Jason Headington to Justin van der Linde, but that BMW seems to have quite some power. Justin isn't really able to pull close. But let's see how he does turn 1.
Yeah, it's a good shout out there in the chat by Vulcan Sim. Dominic Forster's gone up 15 places to 11th. He's got a little bit of a gap now, so he's got a bit of work to do. He's 4 seconds behind 10th, behind Matthew Dambreen, but that's a cracking start. And Jonas Gillis has also gone up 14 places, Michael Mason 12.
Well, as we see on screen, it's quite close between Dominic, Jelle, Jason, Justin van der Linde and Josh Johnson. I think they're separated by, say, 2 seconds, roughly 2.5 seconds. Oh. I was looking at Adam Southgate and Luke McKeon, and both were going daredevils through the kink. But in the meantime, Dominic Forster under pressure of Jelle Pieter Hoogland. Oh, Dominic not having the best. Oh, yeah. Oh, great save there. Yeah, great save there by Jelle.
Got some sweat cams on for you, Kieran Smart and Chris Needham. So Kieran is currently sitting in 16th, and Chris was doing well until he had that unfortunate, unavoidable incident where he got hit. Well, technically he hit him, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you couldn't avoid it. I mean, it's a high speed turn.
It's the nature of the track.
Yeah, it's hard to sort of move out of the way when you're coming through it full speed, and it just happens in front of you. But in the meantime, we see a nice little battle between P18 and P19. That's Matt Acton and Michael Mason. but David Fasole also is part of it in the Audi R8 and just overtaken Michael Mason, if I'm correct. So Michael Mason lost 2 positions. And I think I'm correct when I say that Michael Mason and David Fasole are from the same team.
Ooh.
Oh, Jelle Piet Hoogland on the outside there into turn 4. Oh, Dominic braking nice and late, keeping the line tight. So Jelle has to tuck in behind Dominic again. Oh, Jelle for a sort of a semi-dive bomb. Puts himself there on the inside at turn 5. Dominic.
I think it's a semi-dive bomb.
Well, I mean, Dominic, I think he saw the move come in, so he left the room, of course. So nice move, a little bit aggressive, but nice move by Jelle Piet Hoogland. Puts himself P11, but the battle behind with the 4 cars.
Jason Haddington, I think that is it?
Yeah, you're correct, Mark. That's Jason Haddington, Justin van der Linde.
Squinting at my screen trying to decipher numbers on cars.
Josh Johnson and Kieran Smart, all very, very close to each other. Going through the kink. And all going well. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, this is interesting now. So Kieran behind him, someone's smoking.
Yeah. Not quite sure if that was a little bit of blinking or somebody just broke quite hard. Of course, these cars do have ABS, but you can turn it off. So, but a nice little battle here.
Kieran looks like he's having a little Sunday poodle around, doesn't he? Not even breaking sweat.
No, but I barely see him breaking sweat. We call it sweaty cam, but he's one of the few.
No, it keeps you stuck now. It's getting cold down this end of the world.
So Luke McKeon, I'm having a little look at him. He's still relatively close behind Adam Southgate. But Peter Smith so far seems to control the race quite nicely.
Just keeping an eye on the times at the front. Peter's still got his 2-second plus gap, and Luke Kean can't seem to get under sort of 6 tenths, 7 tenths. And on the last lap, Adam Southgate got a 205.62 and Luke got a 205.63.
Well,
so they're very consistently.
While we're watching at a nice little battle for P9 between Matthew Hodges and Matthew Dambreen, Ferrari versus a Ford. I do think Matthew is showing a little bit of damage on the left rear wing.
Oh, you got eyes of a hawk.
Oh, there we have. That was a spin. That was Justin van der Linde.
That looks like a power slide we talked about.
It seems like he catches the grass just a tiny bit on the outside and it spins out.
He looked good for show.
And he jumped to the pit. I'm not quite sure why he jumped to the pit. And there we have the next casualty. He jumped out of this race. Right. On with the racing.
Again, and that is Josh. Again, he's having a little bit of trouble keeping that on the tarmac tonight.
Yeah, and he was closer to Dominic first, and now I have to look behind to Jason Haddington.
Wow, we're already coming up to halfway, and I suspect within the next lap or so that they'll start pitting, but I might be wrong. We shall see.
I really don't have a clue this season because it's nicely spread out with all the stops. It's not like people are coming in on the same lap, so.
No, but I suspect this track's a little bit more thirsty than most. But we'll see. So just a little mention that later on we're going to be having Driver of the Day poll towards the end of the race. So keep an eye on that. We'll try and decipher the instructions properly as we're currently looking at Matt Acton and David Fasole.
Yep, Dave Fasole puts it on the inside at turn 1. Nice move. puts himself in P17, sorry. It's a battle with Matt Acton for Solar Sim Racing.
Who should we go? Should we go on board with someone? Do you think our director will let us?
Well, we sort of are already on board, aren't we? With Matt Acton, but no, I get what you mean. You want to see some cockpit action.
It's cockpit. Gotta love a bit of cockpit. And this is what they see. Well, obviously depending on the field of view, but so currently on board with Kieran.
Yep.
And there he is on the overlay. Just looks like he's having a little Sunday drive, tootling about.
Trying to get the move done on Jason Headington, but Jason is not having it so far. Jason having a good race as well.
This is a good section. You can get it right as well before the start finish straight.
And not too far in front of those two guys, it's Josh Johnson who has picked up the pace again, and it's really on the back of Dominic Furser for P12.
And Kieran's doing it. He's going past. Got a great exit out of that last corner.
Well, we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen between Dominic and Josh. Josh puts himself on the inside for turn 1.
There he is.
Braking a little bit later, keeping a tighter line so Dominic can't cross back. Nice move there by Josh, keeping the inside for turn 3.
And Jason's the first one in the pit. I suspect that's a scheduled.
I think it will be, yeah. Still side by side. Dominic had a little bit of a better run coming out of turn 3. But he backs out of it. Oh, and Josh going a little bit wide there on the exit. But he stays in front of Dominic, so that puts Josh into P12 and Dominic into P13. In the front, not a lot of position changes, unfortunately. It's Peter still leading in front of Adam Southgate, followed by Luke McKeon, William Chadwick, and Mark Fletcher. Stephen Bird having a pretty decent race, started P11, currently in P6. Mike Emade, the same goes for Mike Emade, started in P15, currently in P7. Jason Hutchin started P16, is currently in P8, and Matthew Hodges started P18, currently in 9th. And Matthew Dambreen is the last for the top 10, started P17.
Excellent. Adam, Luke and Steve have all gone in the pit, and so's Mike Amade. So it's all happening. I was 1 lap out. That's not a bad guess, is it, really? It is the world's, it feels like the world's longest pit.
Oh, and I was looking at Luke McKeon's car, and it seemed like that in the pit his front bumper got fixed, so he was driving with a little bit of front end damage. And they're both coming out. Oh, Adam and Luke McKeon coming out of the pit that close. So that's going to be a battle. Luke definitely pulled a little bit of time on Adam there in the pit stop.
See, that Ford just starts pulling away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a car with great top end, but in the corners it seems to struggle a little bit compared to the Audi and the Ferrari. So it could be that we can see Luke getting a little bit closer again through this next section.
So everyone's pitted except the top 4, so I suspect it might well be this lap coming up. So we'll see if Peter dives in. I suspect William will follow him. Currently on board with Adam Southgate. Yep, Peter goes in now, so bang on. I suspect William will follow. He does. And Mark following.
And while you are watching Peter and William coming into the pit, I'm looking at another nice battle between Dominic Förster and Josh Johnson. Josh is still in front of Dominic, but Kieran Smart is also closer behind him, currently in P14.
Can we go on board with Adam Southgate, please, Director? Peter Smith is stopped. That is a long old pit, isn't it?
It is. It is a long pit.
Get out before Peter does.
Yeah, Adam coming onto the main straight. Peter is still in the pit.
Now he's out.
He's going out now. Peter is going out of the pit now. Oh, that's going to be so close, but I think Peter just still leading. Yep.
And in fact, he's increased his time. It's 4 seconds.
But like I told you, looking at William Chadwick, he's so close now with Luke as well as Adam. Adam slowly pulling away a little bit. But William Chadwick now has a podium position to fight for.
Admittedly, Peter's managed to gain roughly 6 tenths, 7 tenths in the pit during the stop. But William had the fastest one, sub 15 seconds standing.
Well, was to be expected, wasn't it? I called it before the race that William, every race seems to be somewhat the quickest, with the pit stop strategy. And he always pulls it off. It's not like he makes a mistake with it. He's just that good in making those pit stops work for him. So he's got a podium position to fight for as of now.
Yeah. So suddenly now there's 4. So that'll make it a good last third of the race. We're starting to enter shortly. So
yeah, Kieran Smart, by the way, has overtaken Dominic Förster and is now trying to catch up with Josh Johnson.
Yeah, that Ford does look fast.
There we see the replay of the move done by Kieran Smart. Nicely done on the inside there.
I can't help to think.
Sorry, again, room given by Dominic, which is nice to see. But go on, Mark. What do you want to say?
I was just going to follow up on when Zed's comment there that you were saying at the start that the Ford tails off after 6-7 laps, but I think that might be a bit of Billy what's it, you know, well, Billy Ball.
It was what was told by the drivers, but yeah, there could be a little bit of strategy talk to put the competitors off, but who knows?
They've been pretty rock solid, those two Fords at the front over the Audis.
True. But in the meantime, also Martin Hobson having a great race. He's closely behind Jason Hutchin for P11. Ferrari against a Ferrari. Coming on to the main straight.
So, just to let you guys know, in case you're wondering, fastest lap at the moment is Peter Smith with a 2:04.88. Still currently the fastest as we're watching Kieran Williams and Josh Johnson having a little battle. Yeah, 3 tenths quickest than the next one, and Southgate. So Josh is still ahead of Kieran.
Something else I'm looking into is another 3-car battle for P3. Or actually make that P2 and P3, because the battle is still continuing between Adam Southgate, Luke McKeon and William Chadwick. We thought that Adam was pulling away slightly, but it seems like Luke has found some extra pace, or Adam is starting to struggle a little bit. And maybe William will be the sitting duck, trying to see if he can gain 2 positions if Luke and Adam start to battle for that position.
Could be some team tactics here, slow the train down a little bit. Give Peter some more breathing room. He's at nearly up to 4 seconds again.
Well, like the famous saying our editor once made is this Mercedes? Sorry, that was funny to me. Anyways, it's a lovely little battle for the podium positions, which is nice to see.
Just noticed that the Ford doesn't have the old position number in the window.
No, because it's that old. No,
It looks
that
like
car.
it's still, does it? So bloody ugly thing. A face only a mother could love.
So at the moment we've got 2 3-car battles. The one we're currently watching, on which Adam seems to slowly create a little bit of breathing room behind him again. William Chadwick showing his car there for a tiny bit on the inside of Luke. Maybe trying to force him into a mistake. But I think we have to return to our sweaty cam, and the hunk of iRacing, how people call him, is Kieran Smart, who's currently right on the back of Josh Johnson coming onto turn 3. Josh seemed to be struggling a little bit. I saw him having some or the car struggling a little bit of oversteer. So he's definitely pushing it to try and stay in front of Josh. Or sorry, in front of Kieran. So far, so good. I see Benjamin Johnson is in the Twitch chat as well. Evening, Ben.
Yeah, some brotherly love in there.
Well, he's got about 5 minutes left to defend his position, P12, to get a decent result in for the Venomworks team. He started P12 and is P12, by the way.
And there's a rare sight. Is that a Mercedes before my eyes?
That is, if I'm not mistaken, we're on board with Dries Kader, who is right behind Jason Haddington, I'm sorry, and now has Jelle Pieter Hoogland right on the back of him.
I remember in the early days that used to dominate the GT3s, didn't it, the Merc?
Well, but the same goes for the Ferrari at one point, and the same goes for the Audi at one point. Oh wow, Jelle Pieter Hoogland going for the inside move there. Oh, and there was contact.
Ow, ow, ow.
Oh, and even Jason Haddington is involved.
Ouch.
Boy.
It was just bumpy.
Jelle still on track, but now going. Yeah, just a tiny touch on the inside there of Dries Kader, and unfortunately Jason Haddington was a sitting duck, couldn't do anything to avoid that one.
Would he? He was marked very far enough ahead to not be involved there.
So Dries Kader jumped into the pit.
So it gives the boys in race control something to look at.
Definitely.
It's been quite quiet instant-wise, isn't it?
Jason Haddington really struggling with the car, but he's coming into the pit. Oh, that's a nice replay we see there of a move on Matthew Dambreen. Is a replay? No, I'm not mistaken. It's live. It's a nice little battle between Martin Hobson and Matthew Dambreen. I think Matthew Dambreen took the position from Martin Hobson, so that puts him in P10. I do agree with you, Kieran. Jason was doing really good, so it is really unfortunate to be caught up in that accident, but yeah, unfortunately we can't change it.
It certainly wasn't his fault by any means.
Definitely not. Oh, and 2 cars going off track. Wow, I think that was Josh Johnson. Yep, Josh Johnson just... I think he clipped a little bit of the outside again on the grass, and there the car went. And the other driver in front of them was, I think, Jason Hutchin, who probably did the same thing.
Ooh. Just see the replay of that course.
I don't know how Josh went through that gap there between the barrier and the Ferrari, but that was quite interesting to see.
Technically,
wow. But yeah, unfortunately, Jason's race has ended. He decided to jump out.
I think our director's getting overexcited with what 12 inches looks like. But there you go.
But again on board, Kieran Smart is now currently due to all the incidents happening in these last 5 minutes in P10.
So, just having a quick ganders up the board, the top 4 still very constant with regards to lap times and gaps as well. So,
yeah, and I think we're coming up to a white flag next time Peter will cross the start-finish line.
I wonder if Peter's up to any back markers yet.
Well, I think with the things going on track, and some people had to pit twice to fix the damage they had with a false repair or anything, he probably will have caught up with some of the back markers.
Oh, driver of the day. Right, so use the numbers on the scrolly bit and the bottom right of the stream, and not the positions or the car numbers like I keep bloody doing. Just whack your number in the chat. No hashtags, no text in, no nothing like that. Just literally the number. Cool, Phil, straight in there. Number 12. I don't know who that is. Who's number 12, Phil? I've got to wait for it to scroll away.
You will have to wait and see when it comes up again. But back on board with the battle between Matthew Dambreen and Kieran Smart. Kieran Smart trying to put himself on P9. Coming onto the main straight alongside Matthew Dambreen there.
David Fasole.
Well, Kieran Smart makes the move done, puts himself in P9. Kept enough room there to make sure that there wasn't any contact. And Martin Hobson isn't that far behind Matthew Dambreen, so for this last lap they will have to keep clean. Dominic Furster in P12 also not far behind, so still anything can happen. Well, yeah, Southgate pulled away there from Luke and William. William probably trying to see if he can make a last move for the podium position, P3.
I'm going to double down on who I predicted, so there you go. Peter goes my vote.
Dominic Furster. And Martin Hobson, also one of the few, but
William Chadwick right on the tail.
Oh, he's going for the inside move there in the last turn, coming onto the main straight, but who will have the best run out of that last turn? Oh, this is going to be a photo finish.
William's going to get in.
This is going to be a photo finish. Oh my god. What?
It's not last lap yet.
Oh, Jesus. I'm looking at the wrong timing. My bad, boys. But then again, it's still nice racing.
Not yielding at all. But there we go. Got to be done in the first corner. That would have been some finish if it was the last lap.
Oh, I was totally wrong. I was looking at the wrong timing on my screen. My bad, my bad. William Chadwick trying to break the slipstream there for Luke McKeon.
So coming up to 3.5 minutes, and I think it'll be this lap plus 2 I'm going to go for. It depends if Pete decides to slow down or not.
Dominic Furster in the meantime puts himself in P11 in front of Martin Hobson. So Dominic up 15 positions from the place he started the race in. Nice to see people putting their votes in.
That's not what I voted for, Billy, bless you. You're not allowed to vote for yourself, Billy. He's not on there, is he?
I don't know if he's watching. Oh, that's This is a battle, though, for P3 between Luke and William.
Yeah, just running through the timings. I'm surprised how much it's all spaced out between all the positions now.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, we had that crash with the 3 cars.
Oh, just as I say that, Matt Acton overtook Josh Johnson. But yeah, this is the battle where it is at the moment. Oh, Josh's car's not looking too good there, is it? I'm going to have to get the old T cut out for that.
No, definitely not looking that good. We're gonna see replay what happened there. Just took too much speed into the hairpin, and the back end of the car stepped out.
So Pete has currently got a just over 4.6 second lead as we're watching. Was that Andreas? Yeah, it was Andreas.
Yep.
Just overdoing it. Martin Hobson's gone back in the pit, who's currently in 12th.
So the most exciting battle on track, I think, Mark, is the battle for P3 between William Chadwick and Luke McKeon.
We'll probably have to see most of this out, I suspect, because, yeah, a lot of the others are all, like I say, spaced out a bit. And I'm just looking to see where Peter is on track. He's 2/3 of the way round, so it's going to be another lap. So I hope they've got the right fuel on board.
As long as they're not slowing down right now, they probably will. I mean, they would have noticed quite soon enough. And I think the battle for P3 plays in the hands of Adam Southgate as well. Oh, Luke McKeon just had a little bit of a moment there and went off. Wow. He clipped the curb on the outside and the car jumped.
There you go. It is literally the back corner, isn't it?
But it's... Oh, he does an amazing job to keep the car on track, though, must be said.
Could have been a lot worse in that sandpit.
Yep. Or it could be going into a wall, so he did a really good job there. But I do think that's gonna be it for the podium positions. We're on board with Chris Needham, trying to claw back some of the position.
That puts him back into the scoring zone, doesn't it? 19.
Yeah, he was already in 20th position, so he would have got that last point, of course. But he's just past P19, so you're correct, and he's right behind Miles Owens as of now. Maybe he's got some pace to try and get that position as well.
So we are now on the last lap. Pete is nearly halfway round, as we're currently on board with
Martin Hobson.
Is that Josh in front of him? It is.
Yep. So probably due to that damage that Josh had, he's just falling back.
How's the driver of the day vote coming along? Let's have a little look. What we got? Billy and David, 1 vote each. Dominic, a vote. Giannis Gillis on 13%. That must be 2 votes, I'm guessing. Yeah, lots of little single random votes there. Are they all voting for themselves, are they? And there he goes. Peter takes the win.
William Chadwick clawed back some of the gap between him and Adam, but Adam secures 2nd position, and William, well done, takes in 3rd.
That was a good race. Dominic Forster's only 8 tenths behind at the moment in 11th. But I think that might be a little bit too much to ask in the closing 1/3 of the lap. But saying that, he's really pulling down the gap. Oh, I thought for a minute there, was there a fuel problem? But no. It's coming down. It's coming down. He's going to... Is he going to do it? Have a look, Phil, in 11th. He's cutting the gap. There's only 3 steps.
Well done by Mikey, mate, finishing in P7, started P15.
He's right behind him.
Yeah, Matthew Dambreen and Dominic having a close finish there.
Matthew just getting ahead. Wow. Lost 6 tenths there on the last third of the lap. So driver of the day looks like it's Peter Smith. So he's done the double. Done the Barney Russell.
While we see Jelle Piet Roogland coming across the line, as well as Matt Acton. Waiting on Martin Hobson is coming across the line right now. Close behind him, Josh Johnson. And there we've got David Fasole, finishing in P16. Waiting on Arnoud and Chris Needham, both of the RWC Racing boys. Coming across the line as of now in P17 and P18. Oh, and another close finish between Jonas Gillis and Miles Owens, P19 and P20. Oh, wow. Apparently Miles crashed in the last lap. Oh, that's unfortunate. But he did get into the podium positions. There we see the replay of what actually happened.
Hold up. Is David got like his family involved there? 4 votes for him in like 2 seconds.
Well, I mean, if people want to vote for him, they can.
I think vote for United. Sounds looks a bit of a conspiracy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, when the line was when Peter crossed the line. Still, don't get anything for it.
That's a race done again. Yeah, another race done.
That was a good race. Went quick. So race results. Peter Smith takes the win. Also takes fastest lap. Adam Southgate in second. Both for CXR Project Black there. William Chadwick third, Luke McKeon fourth, Mark Fletcher fifth, Stephen Bird sixth, Mark Maid seventh, Matthew Hodges eighth, Kieran Smart ninth, Matthew Dambreen 10th, Dominic Forster 11th, Kelly Peter Hoogland in 12th, Matt Acton 13th, Martin Hobson 14th, Josh Johnson 15th, David Fasole in 16th, and allegedly driver of the day. Arnold Chalignay 17th, Chris Needham 18th, Jonas Gillis 19th, Miles Owen 20th, 21st Jason Hallington, Andreas Hauser 22nd, 23rd Josh Thompson, Dries Kadir in 24th, Michael Mason 25th, Callum Brandt 26th, 27th is Jason Hodgson, 28th Justin van der Linden, Jack Clifford 29th, Dennis Meisner 30th, Ben Johnson 31st, Billy Fletcher 32nd. Cool. I said that about running out of breath.
Yeah, that was quite impressive. Yeah. Good race by all there.
I agree with Win. Yeah, it's a bit
definitely a good race to watch.
Let me just bring up the driver of the day, and then we can get that confirmation. Yeah, so David Fasole, with 25% of the vote, wins driver of the day for round 4.
Ooh, who's that? Rigged? I can hear everyone shouting at the TV, rigged.
No, well, I mean, he had a pretty decent race, so well deserved.
He was unfortunate to get involved in that incident, didn't he? So.
Yeah, it is. But I think he would have enjoyed this race as well. So well done by David for grabbing driver of the day.
Yeah, it's probably his mother, his father, his brother, his sister, and himself. There you go.
That's what you got to do to win these things, though. That you have to get your family involved, etc.
And works and all them other ones.
Obviously, the more people you get involved, the more people are watching the race. So it's win-win situation for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. So next week we are here for round 5 at Sebring International. Ooh. I said here then. We're not here. This is Road America. We will be at Sebring next week. The session starts at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it might go dark towards the end of the session.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant they were starting practice at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, we're not starting practice.
Well,
It's
you had to skip work.
yeah. So the actual the in session race time is 6:15. So I believe it's going to go dark during that hour. So that should make it a little bit fun. But everyone's quite used to driving Sebring at night. It's one of those circuits you kind of have to master because of the amount of times you actually do drive it at night. So I think that should be good. It should be a good little battle. So with that, yeah, we will be back next week, 8:15. Cheers to Mark and Ruben on the old commentary team.
Well, cheers to you, Phil.
No problem. And cheers. Yeah, cheers to Aaron, Ed, and I was going to call him Monkey, but Neil. In race control, everyone did a stellar job tonight. There's some great racing. There was a few. There wasn't actually all that many incidents in terms of, like, actual big incidents. It was either more netcode or it'd be people spinning off themselves, and then someone else would unfortunately collect into them as they've unfortunately span out of control into the circuit, which is unfortunately something that is very easy to do on this circuit because
it's
there's
flat
the
out.
walls. Yeah, it's flat out, and there's walls right on either side of the circuit at all times. So the bounce back rate into the center of the track is
high.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
high.
and unfortunately we saw that incident between Dries and I think it was it?
Yeah, that was a very
Josh?
unfortunate one. I mean, when you look at it from
Where
a few
Jason
different
was caught up
angles,
in.
yeah, there was just barely there was a big gap in between the cars. It's not like they've tried to like rub into each other or push one to the either side of the track. There was a bit of a gap there, so we'll have to see. I don't know what race control called on that one.
Nope. No,
but
well,
yeah.
no penalties were given this race. So
Not
Yeah.
yet.
not yet.
But yeah, not
during
yet.
the race.
There may be some after race reviews, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, that's us for this evening. Cheers, guys, for watching. Cheers to all the new followers. And cheers to all the drivers as well. Amazing performance. And we'll catch you next week, 8:15 for Sebring.
Good
Cheers.
stuff.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Guys.